And we're back once again, only on Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. And joining me here, we got Casca Akashova. She said, Chris, we got to get this guy on the show. He's undefeated in Bellator. He's just beating people up, taking their lunch money. He's going to win. He should be in the tournament. She's already found a protest why he's not in the tournament. We're going to get to that a whole lot more. He'll be fighting, though. It's going to be all the way in Arizona, Bellator 268. He'll be taking on Karl Albrektson in the light heavyweight scrap. I give you, once again, undefeated in Bellator, one of their best young prospects. I give you, it's Julius Anglickas. Julius, big step up here. This is a guy who he's been around. He's competed in Ryzen. He's fought the best of the best in this world. How much do you enjoy this? That you get to now test yourself against somebody you can tell people, hey, he's a legit, Bellator Rising guy, and people go, oh yeah, I know that guy.
I mean, I like it. It's definitely good. You can't be always the better guy than your opponents. Like, you always have to like challenge yourself and be ready to possibly lose. I mean, that's the sport. You can't always win. Like, eventually have to run into those guys that are equal to you or better. So I mean, it's good. I like it. And yeah, I think it's time for me to step up and see what I can really do.
I think that's probably one of the first realistic comments I've heard in a while. Because, I mean, most fighters, whether they want to admit it to themselves or not, don't admit that. Because they say, I'm constantly prepared, I'm constantly trained, I'm ready to go. But in reality, that's not always the case. You can't know what the outcome is, or in that split-second decision, if it's going to be a TKO or a submission. You honestly don't know sometimes. You can try your best, even if you're the most talented fighter.
Right. I mean, like you said, like if like we say like, oh, I'm ready. So is my opponent, so what, we're just gonna get draws all the time? Like, no, there's someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. So
exactly.
I think that also helps me. Like, if I acknowledge that like there's possibility of me winning, people always say like, Julius, you gotta sound confident, you gotta pretend that you're gonna win. I'm like, no, like I don't, because then if it gets hard, like I'll panic. I have to realize that it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be put in the bad positions. So I acknowledge it and I'm going to be ready for it. Or at least I'm not going to freak out because I thought I'll be fine. No, it's fight. Like, I'll get punched. I'll get close of being possibly stopped. So it's, if I'm ready for that, then it's like, okay, cool. I know what I'm getting myself into. So I have to acknowledge that. And yeah, most people don't, which is weird. I don't know if it's like this, they're trying to sell the fight, but I'm like
invincible.
Come on. Yeah, let's
I'd
get
like
real
to be
here.
invincible, but that's not the case. I'd like to be a ninja, but that is not the case.
Right.
So how do you mentally prepare then? Like, being more realistic, knowing that could be the possible outcome. How do you physically and mentally prepare for that?
You do a lot of visualizing, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you think of all the bad things that could happen. You think about all the bad positions you can be put into. And that's all it is just positions. Unless, yes, you get caught, then can't do nothing about it. You just move on to the next one. Yeah, exactly. You just move on to the next one. Just kick ass and move on. Win or lose, whatever. Move on. Go to the next one. And that's another thing. It's like you prepare as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky so far. I've been doing good. But now it's like I'm getting like, now I'm going to be playing with the big boys. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to win every single time. No, now it's going to be like, it's going to be tough. Like, so I think just acknowledging that it can go either way, but just giving my best. That's all I can do. And I don't control the future. I just can't control the training, what I can do now, and whatever plays out, plays out.
So before a fight like this coming up, it doesn't sound like you're one of the fighters that psych themselves up. A lot of them kind of do. Are you one of those?
I think I try to get super focused
Yeah.
and excited, but like with the control.
Yeah, not like,
'Cause-
oh,
Yeah, let's go, like throw bombs. Like no, like you excited, you sharp, you're aware of the danger,
yeah,
and you prepare to answer whatever questions might pop up during the fight.
yeah,
Because yeah, a lot of people like bring that rage and anger and they start swinging. That's when maybe mistakes start happening. That's when you maybe not gonna think too straight. So some of the best performances I had was when I was as calm as it could be,
mm,
but at the same time, I knew what I had to do. Like I knew what I'm getting myself into.
yeah,
So it almost became like a very important sparring session, like a
okay,
very important
yeah,
sparring session. And we're just throwing with more intent. And we realized like, all right, can't lose this round because
yeah.
it's going to be more official if you lose this round. So
Absolutely. There's more on the line.
right. So I definitely get more serious, and I used to, back in the day when I first started, I used to psych myself out weeks before, or it was just too unnecessary. I know I
Yeah.
can get serious the day of the fight, like half an hour before the fight. Before then, it's just, I think I was overworking too much, over worrying, and I personally did not like it. So I feel I was trying to teach myself to just be calm, enjoy life, because if you can turn the switch on half an hour before the fight,
It's
that's
good.
fine. Yeah, it's good. Like you, by worrying for 2 extra weeks before the fight,
Yeah.
it's not gonna get you any more focused during the fight. So I just try to shrink it down, whatever I don't need, because I hate being stressed. I hate overthinking it, being all nervous and stuff.
Yeah, no one needs anxiety and heart palpitations before a
Right.
fight.
Yeah, no. So, because that's what I used to do. And now I'm just like, all right, just cut what's unnecessary. So I'm still
Yeah.
playing with them, still learning. And I think I'll never stop learning because each fight is different. You react differently for each one.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna be reacting in my next one. Yeah, I don't even know because each time it's different. I fight differently each time. So I don't even know what kind of Julius we're gonna get. Like people say, like, oh,
Well,
let's get
we're
ready
gonna
for.
have today. Hmm.
What was that?
Well, let me
I
jump
guess
in
we'll
quickly.
find out.
Yeah.
Let me jump in quickly because I want to ask something that two guys you faced or trained with have brought up. Alex Pleasy, Grant Neal. One doesn't look at any videotape. Doesn't Alex Pleasy doesn't believe it. He says, I want to get nervous. Grant looks and goes, I want to study my opponents, I want to figure things out. I enjoy that.
Mm.
Do you do that with Albrektson, or is it tough because his three losses, all three guys are a little bit different from you? Phil Davis is much more athletic and more just funky with his takedowns. You hit his loss against Moldavsky. Moldavsky's a big ass heavyweight who constantly is moving all around. And the last guy, Yuri Projek is more of a pure boxer. Do you look at the videotape of all those losses and try to figure out what works, or do you just look and go, well, I know what he is. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm not going to just get obsessed with. I got to find a secret. I got to find that hidden clue. I got to look at the tape so I can figure out a weakness to get Karl Albrektson.
What I usually do, I just watch it once or twice, and my coaches say the key things. What we try to do, I mean, every fighter is the same. Everybody throws jabs, crosses, throws some kicks, but everybody has maybe like a specialty. For example, when I fought Jordan Young, his thing is super relaxed. We knew he was gonna like wait for me to like get tired and catch me in something funky. So like, all right, cool. I'll just relax as well. I won't burn out and I'll just walk him down. I'm bigger than him. So if I'm relaxed, if I'm not, don't gas out, I'll be fine. With Polizzi, his thing is his wrestling. So like, okay, let's take that away. Let's stay at the distance, sprawl, and keep it standing. if we can just keep it standing, he just becomes like any other fighter. So we just look for like one or two things that are their thing, and we just try to take that away. And anything else, like how they throw jabs or crosses, that's like not important. We just look for like 2-3 things that they do on every fight, and that's it. Like my last 3 opponents, I watched maybe 2 videos, made mental notes, and that's it. I the more I'll watch, the more I'll get nervous. I don't like watching. It's like, oh man, he is good. Like, I mean, every single fight that I had, I always give too much credit to my opponents. It's always like, damn, like I'm getting myself into some trouble. Like, these guys are good, this and that, da da da. So I just try to watch it once or twice, just remember what they do, and I just let my coach just remind me what they do, and that's it. I try not to watch it too much.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask. Is it easier to have your coach just to be like, okay, look out for his like left jab, or he does, more grappling and submissions this way, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, my coaches are good at picking stuff, especially my striking coach, Quinn O'Brien. I especially remember my first LFA fight. Like half an hour before the fight, he was looking at the video. He's like, oh, okay. So if he's in his regular stance, he's going to punch. If he switches stance, he's going to throw a head kick. If he gets his body square, 100% he's going to throw a deep. So it's like, that was like the most simplest thing. He switched stance. I'm like, he's going to throw a head kick. And he threw a head kick. It's like, he squared up. He's going to throw the tip. And he threw a tip.
I got this.
It's like he all picks out few things that people do that's like their little thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's the only thing they remind me. And if we just consider those few things, anything else becomes basic fighting.
It's very interesting how certain people have, they're kind of like, I guess you would call them go-tos, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like Albrektson, like I definitely know he's going to try
sequences, if you will.
Yeah.
They work for them, and they kind of stick with those instead of kind of like mixing it up. It's interesting how that is. So like knowing going into that, does that sometimes work for you or work against you? Like knowing that that's going to happen, you know what I mean? Because like once you see it, you're like, oh shit, okay.
I think it definitely helps because it definitely helps because it eliminates every other possibility. It's like, oh, he's gonna do that right now. Because for example, like my first LFA fight, when the guy switched stance, he wasn't gonna do anything else, and that was the fact. So I just waited for the head kick to come. Whenever he squared his shoulders, I'm like,
you could like
the fact he's not gonna punch. Right. So yeah, you can counter however you want. So we're just looking for those few things. I mean, the better guys get, the more they hide what they do.
Yeah.
So it definitely gets tougher and tougher.
Take me back to the Gregory Millard fight, because I know you're very critical about it. I've rewatched it, and first, he's a big, strong guy. So it's not like Polizia, Jordan Young, who you went in there and you just physically, mauled him. He was a guy who looked like, okay, I'm going to get a hold of you, and I'm not going to just let go. I'm going to push you off. I'm going to make it just very difficult for you to bully me. He was also on I'm looking here, 9-1 streak. How much you look back at that fight and go, okay, it wasn't my greatest, but he was much better than what people thought. He was expecting to beat me. I'm not that upset about it because, hey, I beat a guy who was strong, powerful, and I took him down whenever I wanted to. He could not stop my takedowns.
Yeah, I think the part that discourages me is that I took him down, but I didn't do much with it. That's like the thing. It's like, okay, like you said, like I could have taken down whenever I wanted to, and I controlled it pretty good, but I think I got carried away with it so much that I did not want it to give opportunity for him to get back up. So I was doing more holding versus posturing up and punching and doing some damage and playing with that. So I think that's the part of that I'm discouraged about, because every single fight you see, every single champion that you see, they would try to do damage. And I did not do that. I kind of took a little bit more safer route, which yes, secured me a victory. But if I want to like beat the top guys, like I can't be doing that. Like I gotta push up, do damage versus just I'm a kind of hold, I'm a sneak in a few punches here and there,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna wait this out. So I feel that was more of a chicken part that came out. I don't know, that made me like take a little bit easier way. So gotta fix that.
So now knowing that, going into this upcoming and future opponents, now you kind of got to take them out, so to speak. That sounds horrible
Right.
saying that, but you know what I mean. You're dealing with a different level of individuals.
Right. So I mean, but again, I never know how I'm gonna be in the fights because
That's
I
true.
react differently to everybody.
True.
So I guess, but I do feel me feeling bad about my last fight. I will try to prove myself better in the next one. At least I hope that's going to be the
Flip that
case.
switch, right? Gotta flip that little
Exactly.
switch.
Exactly. So I hope that's going to be the case. If not, I guess we'll have more work to do. But
Right.
at the same time, like my next opponent is tough. So if I try to hold him down, he will get back up. So I'll have to do damage or he'll do damage on me. So
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. There you go. Maybe you can have your fans start yelling in the crowd, flip the switch.
that will be flip the switch, flip the switch.
Yeah, it could be a motto.
Yeah, so it will be with the crowd. So yeah, last two fights without a crowd, this one with the crowd. So I miss the crowd. I mean, it wasn't bad without it, but
Yeah.
it'll be pretty cool with it too.
It does make a difference though sometimes, right? I mean, I know you have to kind of like go in the zone and push them out, but do you feel the difference?
My last two fights, like they weren't screaming, but I did see people around the cage, like people who like work, the Bellator people,
Yeah.
the judges, the senate, the coaches. So they kind of became the crowd. I mean, even though it was a small crowd,
Yeah, of course.
they became the people that you see outside the cage, minus the yelling
Of course.
and screaming of the crowd. So it's good and bad, but at the same time, it's good and bad for your opponent as well. So both of you in the same boat. So if it's bad for both of you. If it's good for both of you. Either way, both of you get that same reaction.
Does it pump you up when the crowd chants for you? Sorry, Chris.
No, I was gonna say before this, does it help each fighter though having that non-crowd? Like with Polizzi, did it help you that your corner could be that third eye? You could hear him go, "Watch out for the leg lock," and you go, "Oh, gotta watch out for that. Watch out for the armbar." And you know, for a guy like him who likes to try weird, funky stuff, you have that third eye. Whereas Millard, you feel it hurt you that his corner's going, push off, grab your arms, and as you said, it's that third person now whispering in their ear clearly, and they're not going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. They're going, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, because there is no crowd. It's almost like a sparring session with you hearing your coaches giving those instructions.
Yes, I think like depending who you're fighting, the no crowd part might help. Like yes, for example, like police, a good example. If there was crowd, maybe I would have fought a little differently when I really had to stick with the game plan of staying one step away, throwing my 1-2s and being ready to sprawl and stuff the shot. So it was good hearing coaches for that. That was because that was like very specific thing. Stuff the shot. He's gonna shoot on you. And he's a really good wrestler. So in that case, I would say maybe yes. Because I was really concentrating on that. One step away, 1-2, get ready to sprawl, punch, punch, get ready to sprawl, punch, punch.
Yeah.
Keep at the distance, be ready to sprawl. While maybe with the crowd, I would have gotten carried away. Maybe. But at the same time, maybe he would have gotten carried away. But I do feel some people might like crowd a little bit better versus no crowd. But at the same time, you just have to fight regardless what's happening. And I try not to think too much about it, because then you feel guilty or you make excuses. Oh, I need a crowd. Oh, I'm better without a crowd. I'm trying not to even think about it. It is what it is. If we don't have crowd, it's both of us who don't have crowd. So
It's
if
true.
there is crowd, it's distraction for both of us. Maybe distraction less for one of the other, but I'll just better not even overthink it, because I don't know.
Right. Either way, it's your job, it's your fight, and it's the determination of how you perform.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
That's
talk
what it's
about
all
the
about.
last question for me. We're running out of time. I know Casca has hers. Mine is very simple. You're the number one alternate in this tournament. This tournament's happening that day you're fighting Karl Albrektson. You also get ready for, hey, you might all of a sudden find out, oh, by the way, Corey Anderson got injured. You're fighting Ryan Bader. It's like, oh, crap. But hey, but guess what? Anthony Johnson, he might be going to jail.
Mhm.
You're fighting the champion, Vadim Nemkov, going, oh, okay. How tough is that sort of like in the back of your mind? You got to be ready for anything. You could go from fighting Karl Albrektson to Corey Anderson, Vadim Nemkov, Anthony Rumble Johnson. You could be even fighting Ryan Bader. How tough is that, almost having to be prepared for 5 different scenarios?
They're all wrestlers except Rumble. So in my mind, it's like, it's only 2 scenarios. The guy who hits hard and that's kind of all he does, and other guys hit hard and they wrestle. And I would say their thing is more of a wrestling. So that's what we try to shrink it down to. It's like, all right, they're gonna try to take you down. So same idea as with Polizzi sprawl, keep it standing and strike. And yes, there is a big opportunity that I could get someone else. I mean, there is still time. Someone could still get hurt. And it would be pretty cool to fight for a title.
I agree.
I don't wish nobody harm by like backing out in the wrong way or getting hurt or something. But we do think about it. I mean, my last fight I almost fought Corey because his opponent was having trouble to make weight. So they asked me to make 205 versus 206. But his opponent ended up making weight. So, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, shoot, next week maybe I'll fight a champion. Who knows?
It's exciting. The
Mhm.
world of,
Super exciting. A lot of possibilities.
And that's what I love about this sport. You just never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like when they call me like, you're the alternate, this and that, I'm like, what are the odds that I'm going to be put in? Like, but at the same time, there is a big chance. I mean, people fall out, people get hurt.
It's true.
So that's how opportunities happen all the time.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
That's
so
exactly.
It's
like some Rocky movie.
Right? There you go. You need to film yourself doing that. That's what you need to do. Go out there and Rocky yourself. That sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Well, once again, ladies, we are proud to have on the show. I give you is the hard-charging prospect who, well, he might be fake young Karl Albrektson, Rumble Johnson, Ryan Bader, hell, Vadim Nemkov, or even Corey Anderson. We're not sure. We just got watch only on October 16th. I give you it is once again Julius Anglickas. Julius, before I let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website, and who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up?
I'm bad with Twitter. Usually I just do Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, Instagram is just my name, Julius Anglickas. Super easy to find me. Sponsors, Hill Street Boxing. that's the biggest one. They've been helping me since my LFA title fight. So they've been helping me to stay on track and just train. And we'll find some extra ones for this fight. So,
That's right. We need to get you some shorts.
exactly.
Julius Anglickas, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's always our pleasure to have on the show. We come back. Stay tuned for more great action and content here only on, it is Last Call. Last Call with the Alcohol and Casca Akashova only on the Last Call Blue Wire Hustle YouTube channel.